It's now time for the River Sports full game recap. We'll go all the way back to April 13th, the year 2024, when the Nashville Predators were closing out the regular season series against the Columbus Blue Jackets at Bridgestone Arena. Also happens to be closing out the regular season portion of the schedule. Head coach Andrew Brunette deploys his lines and defensive combinations in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Zucker, Jankowski, and Glass, Beauvillier, Novak, Evangelista, Anderson, Dolan, McCarron, and Sherwood. So Anderson Dolan makes his first ever appearance for the Nashville Predators. McDonough and Yossi, Luzon and Carrier, Stastny and Shen are your defensive pairings. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are just 19 seconds into the first period where we find Greaves coming with a save on Anderson Dolan. His first game, his first shift, and his first shot on goal of the game. That would have been sweet if that one would have found its way to the back of the net. Welcome to the Nashville Predators. 52 seconds into the first period, it is Saros coming with a save on Olivier, former Nashville Predators. The first save for UC Saros in this game. At the 2:04 mark, though, we find Malatesta coming in with his first goal of the season, a wrist shot from the slot after a clean face-off win by the Columbus Blue Jackets. That first goal of the season at 2:04 gives Columbus a 1-0 lead here in the first period, but it would only be 45 seconds later before the Predators would respond. At 2:49, Tommy Novak would pick up his 17th goal of the season, tying the game up at 1 apiece. Luke Evangelista did the work, the big-time setup, the diagonal pass for Novak's redirect right there at the back post. Easy hookup for Novak on this one. His 17th of the season ties the game at 1 apiece. 3:55 the first period. Now Saros comes with a save on Texier. 4:12. Marchenko goes off the box. 2 minutes for tripping, and the captain, Roman Yossi, is going to convert on the power play almost immediately with his 22nd goal of the season. A heavy shot from straight away. You know the one. You've seen it plenty of times. 22nd goal of the season for Yossi gives the Preds a 2-1 lead now early in the first period. Highly active first period. 4:37 in the first. Saros comes with a save on Gaudreau. 5:37. Saros a save on Blankenberg. 7:42. Saros comes with a save on Cylinder. And 8:46. UC Saros a save on Nylander. So the Columbus Blue Jackets clearly responding after the Predators pick up 2 quick goals. But at 13:25, it's going to be Tommy Novak coming with his 18th goal of the season. It's also his second goal of the period. Beauvillier makes the pass from behind the net to the face-off dot, and Novak finishes off this one with ease. Novak's 18th gives the Predators a 3-1 lead here in the first period. 14:28 mark of the first period. It's Greaves coming up with a save on Philip Forsberg at 17:03 of the first. Olivier and Shen square off and have about 5 minutes each is the result. But I got to tell you, for as tough as we all know Olivier is, Shen handled himself like a real pro in this particular fight scenario. At 19:57 of the first period, it's Saros coming with a save on Nylander. Gaudreau's follow-up from a sharp angle hits the post and bounces out as the buzzer goes off. Believe if it was inside the post, this one would have counted. It was just that close, but it was off the post. They reviewed it just in case. It ends up being off the post and out clean. At the end of the first period, the Preds do lead 3-1. Columbus, though, out shooting Nashville 15-11. 14 seconds into the second period, it's Greaves coming up with a save on Michael McCarron. 2:58 mark of the second period, it's Greaves coming up with a save on Luke Evangelista, plus the follow-up by Shen at the 4:02 mark of the second period. The captain, Roman Yossi, fires one off of the crossbar, looking for his second goal of the game, ringing the iron. 4:27 into the second, and Saros coming with a save on Cylinder. And at 4:52, it's Glass, his 6th goal of the season. It's a deflection off of Glass's jump screen. Now, this was confusing for a little while because it was switched to Carrier and then switched back to Glass later on proper. So Glass, with his 6th goal of the season, gives the Preds a 4-1 lead. Jump screen, the puck barely scrapes off of him while he's in midair. Reminded me a lot of Victor Arvidsson when he was here for all those years. 4-1 now in favor of the Preds. We go to the 6:02 mark of the second period. We find Greaves coming with a save on Beauvillier. 7:30 of the second. Greaves comes with a save on Nyquist. 7:53. Saros a save on Blankenberg. And then 10:23, just past the midway point of this game, it's Texier coming with his 12th goal of the season, cutting the Preds lead in half. It was a breakaway with a 5-hole finish. Didn't get all the shot that he intended on it, but it worked perfectly because it's in the back of the net, beating UC Saros for the Columbus Blue Jackets' second goal of the game. Now 4-2 in favor of Nashville with half a game to play. At 12:18 of the second period, it's Nylander off the box. 2 minutes for high sticking. It's going to be Philip Forsberg getting his 47th goal of the season. That's right. It was a redirect with the skate. No distinct kicking motion was determined. No challenge was made. Philip Forsberg, good clean goal now for his 47th on the season. That's going to give the Nashville Predators a 5-2 lead here in the second period. At 15:09 of the second period, it's the captain, Roman Yossi, getting his 23rd goal of the season. This was simply magical. A strong drive to the net and just a tuck in at the end for good measure. The captain, Roman Josi, with an otherworldly offensive move, his 23rd goal of the season now. So he's got 2 goals in this game and a crossbar. The Nashville Predators extending their lead now to 6-2 here at the 15:09 mark of the second period. We go to the 18:05 mark of the second period. We find UC Saros coming with a save on Corelli, and that's going to do it for the second period. The Nashville Predators extend their lead from 3-1 to 6-2 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. We flip the sheet and we go to the third period, and we find a clean sheet of ice and not a lot happening here at the very beginning of the period. That's where we go to 3:09 of the third, and we find our first action. It's Lankinen coming with a save on Sillinger, plus the follow-up by Marchenko at 5:59 of the third period. We find Fix-Molansky getting his first goal, and that is putting the Columbus Blue Jackets back on the scoreboard. Their third goal of the game makes this game now 6-3. The Nashville Predators getting a little bit sloppy in their own zone and giving up a goal to Fix-Molansky and the Columbus Blue Jackets right here. We move to 7:09 now into the third period. It's Greaves coming with a save on Ryan McDonough at the 8:38 mark of the third period. It is Greaves coming with a save on Beauvillier at 9:43. Greaves another save on Luzon. So the Nashville Predators, after giving up that goal, able to generate a couple of consecutive shifts of pressure. More than the pressure, it's taking all of the offensive ability away from the Columbus Blue Jackets. But at 9:50, we find UC Saros coming with a save on Marchenko. We cross over the midway point of the period. 10 minutes to go in regulation at the 10:28 mark of the third period. We find Greaves coming up with a save on Nyquist. We move to 11:58 now of the third period, and Werenski hits the crossbar. Columbus still trying to get back into this game and fighting to hit iron again at the 12:19 mark of the third period. It's UC Saros coming with a save on Severson at 13:12. We find Texier off the box, 2 minutes for tripping. That's going to put the Nashville Predators back on the power play, but over the course of about 60 seconds, the Nashville Predators not able to get a lot done on this power play, and that's where we find Zucker picking up a penalty in the offensive zone, 2 minutes for tripping. That is going to bring us to a 4-on-4 scenario for a total of 57 seconds. After that would expire, that's going to bring the Columbus Blue Jackets power play out on the rink for potentially 1 minute and 3 seconds. We would find UC Saros dialing in and going to work, coming up with a big save on Voronkov right there, but that would be the only source of offense for the Columbus Blue Jackets over this shortened power play. Back to 5-on-5 hockey at even strength, and we go to 17:54 now of the third period, and that's where we find UC Saros coming up with a save on Pythria at 18:33. It is Greaves coming up with a save on Zucker, and then at 19:30 of the third period, the Columbus Blue Jackets still fighting. Fix-Molansky comes up with his second goal of the period, the second goal of the season in total, and that brings the score to 6-4. And over the final 30 seconds of this game, very little would happen. The Nashville Predators would close things out, end up holding on to the puck there at the buzzer for the 6-4 victory. The captain, Roman Josi, leads his team to center ice, stick taps to the fans, and then we hit the final 6-4, 37 shots on goal for each of these teams. Nashville with 37, Columbus with 37. And then the captain, Roman Josi, goes over and cuts a promo for the fan base, talking about how the team let them down a little bit at the home rink earlier in the season, and they wanted to strive to get better all season long at home, and they wanted to continue growing, getting better, and that's exactly what they did, and they brought some exciting games here in the second half of the season and down the stretch for this Nashville Predators team on home ice. Incredible home run this year. The Nashville Predators picked up 23 victories on home ice. That is highly impressive. The shirts off the back ceremony would go on after that. It would be a bit of a lengthy celebration downtown as the Nashville Predators close out the regular season portion of the home schedule. One game to go in the regular season, and then the next time that we'll be seen at Bridgestone Arena is games 3 and 4 of the first round against opponent yet to be determined, Vancouver or possibly Edmonton. Maybe even the Dallas Stars. Still a couple of games to go, still some intrigue. But for the Nashville Predators, they close out the regular season home schedule with a record of 23-16-2, and that is highly impressive by any standard. And the Preds close out their final home game of the season with a 6-4 victory. The score is not as lopsided as the game actually was. The Preds got a little bit sloppy there in the third period and allowed Columbus to pick up a couple of goals. But Roman Josi, a couple of more goals. Philip Forsberg gets another goal, and this Nashville Predators team, it sure has been fun and the magic sure feels like it's back. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap, but we have so much more to talk about when it comes to this game. We've got analysis, we've got opinion, we've got box score, we've got stats, and more, and that's all coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.